Hi everybody, welcome back to another week of AT Fridays. This week I'm reviewing the M5 Jetblack trainer. We bought this one from 99 Bikes, so it was around $220. There's a few cheaper options, but most bike trainers do start at around $150, and they range all the way up into the $1,000 and $2,000 mark, depending on what your preference is for the trainer. So the M5 is a mag trainer. It's a great all-rounder for anyone who's just starting out riding or the professionals. It's easy to use and easy to store, which means it's a great option for anyone who wants to build their skills on the bike and build their fitness without purchasing a big, bulky, expensive exercise bike like one you might find in a gym. The M5 trainer comes set up and ready to use, and all you have to do is put your bike on. Attaching your bike is going to feel a little bit clunky and a little bit awkward the first couple of times you do it. It's always easier to do this with two people, but it's not impossible to do it on your own. It just requires a little bit more coordination. So the way to fit your bike to the trainer is to line it up between these two knobs on either side. We're going to be lining it up with the rear axle, which on this bike is a nut and bolt, which is one of the easier ways, one of the easier fittings to attach. Now, the bike here is one of our Freedom Wheels bikes, which means it's got a few extra attachments which make it harder for me to put on. It's got attachments for outriggers and this big metal frame for the rear propulsion bar. Again, not impossible, just requires a little bit more coordination from me when putting it on alone. Now, important note is these two adjustment knobs wind in opposite directions. So one's going to be winding towards you and the other one will wind in away from you. Once you've got the bike in position on the trainer, we will be adjusting the rear knob. This part of the trainer is the part that will provide resistance against the wheel and make it feel like you're riding on the road. From memory, most mag trainers will recommend that this piece is wound 1.5 times from the point of contact with the wheel. So that's point of contact, 1.5. A key feature of the Jetblack M5 is the 5 levels of magnetic adjustment here on the rear knob. These can be used alone or in combination with the bike's rear gears to provide more resistance whilst riding and gradually build strength and endurance in a controlled environment. The M5 is suitable for people of any size or weight and suits most road or mountain bike wheels between 29 and 24 inches. It's important for me to say here that this trainer is quite loud depending on the style of tyre you've got. So on this bike here we've got some chunkier mountain bike style tyres that are thorn resistant, so they have quite a lot of tread and it tends to be quite loud as the wheel rubs against the roller. So it sort of sounds like I'm mowing the lawn, which you could easily replace the tires on your bike or just put up with it, put some earphones in, go your hardest. All bikes within the size range are compatible with the M5, although it may be a matter of changing the rear axle, like I mentioned before, for it to fit between the two knobs. So all bikes within that 29 to 24 inch tyre size range are compatible with this trainer. It would just be a matter of changing the axle, which they do provide a compatible axle in the box with the trainer. As you can see with our Freedom Wheels bike, it's pushing the lower limit of that 24-inch tyre diameter. So this places the bike on a forwards lean, which may get uncomfortable if you're riding for longer periods of time. You could easily alleviate this by propping up the front tyre and using a tyre channel to stabilise the front wheel. A bike trainer like the M5 is a great way to build muscular strength and muscular endurance, as well as gaining confidence in a risk-free environment. So the wide base of support and anti-slip feet provide a stable base of support, meaning there's much less abdominal strength required, as well as balance required to stay upright against gravity as you're pedaling on a moving surface. Using a trainer is also a great idea for anyone who has proprioceptive or coordination issues, who may find it difficult to ride a regular bike and may not be able to afford one of the custom bikes provided by our friends at TAD. So by starting using a trainer, we can grade the activity up and build on these basic core skills first. So getting the feel for the motor pattern of pedaling, and not having to worry about external pressures like braking or steering or balancing as well. So equally, anyone with cognitive or perceptual difficulties may benefit from using a bike trainer to build on these basic skills in a stable and safe environment. To remove the bike from the trainer, we would perform the reverse of putting it on. First starting with the rear knob and unwinding that 1.5 times, then by unwinding these side knobs. Again, easier to do with 2 people and easier to do on a regular bike that doesn't have these extra bits and pieces to navigate, but not impossible to do so alone.